Hey everybody, this is Nessa here from Nessa's Hair Extensions down at 684 King Street West in Kitchener. Right, today's video I just wanted to really tell you more about the installation services that you can actually find here at Nessa's Hair Extensions. So this is going to be a great video if you're new to extensions, or maybe you've been wearing clip-ins, fusions, or micro loop or link extensions for a while, but you're tired of the constant in and out of everyday clip-ins, or the damage and thinning of that fusions do to you, or even just the constant slipping out of the loops where you have one side of your head is full and the other is like thin. A weave may be right for you, and I'll just go through the installation services that we do here at Nessa's. Okay, so firstly, a little bit about me. I am a weaving specialist. I've been doing hair since I was yay high to a grasshopper, but I've been doing it internationally in the UK and Canada for the past 11 years or so, and in this time I've discovered loads of different methods for installation on different types of heads, different hair textures, and really different styles as well. So regardless if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, it does not matter. I've dealt with pretty much all hair that's out there, and I'll be able to sort you out as well. So firstly, common myths or misconceptions that you may have heard about weaves. Now, one of the first things that you may have heard is weaving is only for black women. That's only what black women do. Wrong. Loads of people wear weaves of all different races and all different hair textures and styles. It is not for only black women. Common people or famous people that you may have heard of who wear weaves include Kourtney Kardashian, Britney Spears before she's crazy, Pamela Anderson, Naomi Campbell, and Lindsay Lohan, again before they were crazy. Loads of people, absolutely loads of people. So yes, scratch that out. Not only black women, everyone. The next thing you may have heard is it hurts or it damages your hair. Don't get me wrong. Any sort of extension, if not installed properly, will hurt and will damage your hair. That could be whether it be fusion, microloop, tape-in extensions, any clip-ins can damage your hair. It all depends on who's installing them. So yes, if you have an individual who has braided your hair far too tight when it's completely unnecessary, then you will feel some pain, or if they're pulling your hair out, basically, yes, that's going to be some damage. But generally, if you have a professional who's putting your weave in correctly, there should be no pain and there will be no damage to your hair. And another thing you may have heard is, oh, if you've got a weave in your hair, you can't put your hair up in ponytails and stuff. Wrong. That actually does depend on how you've done your weave. There are so many different ways you can do a weave in order to manipulate the style or go for the common style you're after. So yeah, you've got people in weaves wearing super high buns and ponytails, or low ones, or half up, half down. You can have pigtails. It all really depends on which method you're after and what your stylist can do for you with it. Okay, so why do I prefer weaving? And why am I a weaving specialist instead of a fusion specialist or any other kind of or a generalist in hair extensions? Now, mainly I'm one of those kind of individuals that I don't like. I'm very logical. You know, if your hair is going to get damaged, why are you going to do it, right? So, firstly, with weaving, your hair is protected. Okay, whenever you are braiding your hair in, you're basically, for one, while that hair is in a braid, you're not going to be brushing it. That's for sure, which then, and it's all going to be locked in there, so any proteins, nutrients that are coming from your scalp are not going to be lost. When you're there, you're not going to get heat damage, you're not going to get split ends, you're not going to do anything. So all of that hair in the braid is protected. Next one is there's no thinning of your hair, which is great. Like, having a weave-in does not make your hair any thinner, and that's why it's really actually called a protective style. If you wanted to give your head a break, doing a weave is going to, again, all your hair is wrapped up in braids and it's going to protect it. The extensions themselves, they can be reused with a weave because you're not using any adhesives like fusion, or you don't have to have any special little locks or loops or anything like that. And it's all just done with a needle and a thread, and somebody who's very, very skilled at their braiding. And it's basically, yeah, when your braids grow from your head a little bit, you take them out and you just redo the braid and you pop it back in. So you could save a lot of money, basically, is what I'm trying to say, because I'm cheap. Lastly, weaves are great for all ages. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't recommend putting a weave or any extensions in kids, but technically it's not going to hurt their head. Although, please, I don't recommend, or I just think it's wrong for kids to have any artificial hair integrations or makeup or anything like that. So toddlers and tiaras and everything, I don't really like that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's another thing. Either way, it's great if you're a teenager and you want that length, or hey, if you're 70 years old and you want a little something in there, it's cool for all ages. So how do we actually do it? There's 3 general ways that you can install a weave. The first one is single rows installations, or also known as tracks. And this is basically, it's like clip-ins. You know, where you have a row of clip-ins and you're just kind of attaching it to your head and making it very discreet. That's what a single row is like, except for, unlike a clip-in, it's not going to come out. Secondly, you have a full head weave with a leave out. And what a full head weave with a leave out is pretty much all of your hair is cornrowed through, just the same way we would do a single row. However, you have some of your natural hair left out. And a lot of people like to part their hair over the weave just so it looks super natural and they can blend it all in there. But the majority of their hair is, of course, the extensions. This is what the average leave out looks like from the top. Again, you can pretty much blends in. This is what it would look like from the front. It looks really natural with the hairline, and from the back, perfectly blended. And lastly, we have a full head weave, and this is where none of your hair, none of your natural hair is left out, and it is all entirely extensions. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. This weave does have a lace front closure for that extra natural look, but all of her hair is underneath that. Okay, but as a quick example, just to show you what is it underneath all of that hair, this is basically what it looks like. Now, this is a single row installation. So what happens is I braid a very small cornrow going around the perimeter of your head. So this is starting from this side, and we're leaving about 1 inch of your hair out at the front so you can wear it back and so forth. Now, on the other side of this head, I have what it looks like when the hair is actually sewn in. You can see it's really nice and neat and flat going through, and this is the center of the head right here as well. So your braids will come adjoining right into the center, okay, and then the hair is sewn on completely over it, and it stays very flat. You can see on here, and I'm sorry about the lighting, and I'm trying to do this properly, but everything is super flush to the head, even from the side. That is really quite flush and soft. Now, you're probably thinking like, oh, but will that be bumpy, or will it like look weird? And I will take down this side of the hair and just show you. Sorry, I'm really bad with this camera. And this is what it basically looks like. So you can see there's no bulk, there's no bumps, and it is perfectly blended into the hair. And if we were to put it back, again, you still can't see any tracks. And that's what I love about weaves. Ah, it's so brilliant. Sorry, hair enthusiast. I know I'm a complete dork. What other services do we do? Well, do anything that has to do with braiding, or so. Of course, there's single braids. Single braids are really popular with the younger crowd, and of course the older crowd. That's great for all ages. So I would say, hey, pop some single braids in your kids' hair to save you some time in the morning before school. That's what I do. The next thing we do is, of course, cornrows. This is, of course, the under basis of a weave, but there doesn't mean to say you can't do it in a design. Here we've got some super cute headband braids or cornrows to keep that hair out of this cutie patooties eyes. And there's so many styles you can have with cornrows. And lastly, I do offer trims. Now trims I do only offer for afro hair, or so for just because that's what I'm really good at. If you would like a trim on European kind of style hair and Caucasian hair, I do recommend going to your hairdresser. I'm just a specialist at the afro hair, specifically when it comes to trims only. This is great if you want like just that really super sleek look that looks fabulous on women. Hey, I do beards too. Sharpen up that beard. And I love to do little boys trims because I know I hate it when my son's hair is patchy. So there you go. Now don't get me wrong. Those are the most common and basic services that we offer here at Nessa's, but I've basically got solutions for almost anybody that comes into the store. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is, if you want or feel the need to have a little bit of extra hair on your head in any way, shape, or form, give me a shout and I'll basically tell you how it can be done. Or also, if you just need some extra hair care advice, or if you have hair but you want it to be revived back to its former glory without having to spend a whole lot of money buying brand new hair, bring it in and I will be able to do a revival service on it for you. So yeah, you know, save as much money as you can, right? We work so hard for it. But yes, any other questions or queries, please feel free to give me a call, send me an email. I'm always here. I'm a hub of hair information for you. And that's it for me. Have an awesome day. Bye.